Glory to God. We pray that this message will be a blessing to you.
Jesus, hallelujah, to the missionaries, ushers, glory be to the saints of God, and even to the glory be to God, to our visitors. Glory be to God. We thank God to see, glory be to God, the Ingram family in the house tonight. Glory be to God, hallelujah. Jamin and his family, his children, glory be to God. But glory be to God, as I was sitting there, Jamin, you know, you go through some things in life.
Yes, you do.
But I want to tell you this, that God lay on my heart today. All that you're going through is for your own business.
Amen.
He's going to give you a restaurant.
Yeah.
You're going to open up your own restaurant. You're going to open up your own restaurant.
Amen.
You're learning the skills to be, glory be, our owner. So glory be to God. You need, glory be to God, in the near future to take some business courses, some business things and get business fire, that you'll be able to handle the things that need to be done.
Amen.
Because God is going to give you your own restaurant. Glory be to God. In the name of Jesus, God, you give you restaurant. Don't forget them free meals for Bishop. Glory be to God. So we thank God for that. We thank God for y'all being in the house. We're not going to belong to time. We know we own God's time. We're going to be able to see how God has brought us this far by His word.
Amen.
Glory be to God. He brings you far by His word. Glory be to God. It's His word that brings you to the place that you need to be. If you don't put the trust in the word, you cannot grow. If you don't trust the word, you can't grow. Because the word is going to help you grow. If you don't trust Him as what He's saying, glory be to God. Glory be to God. You can't. You got to be able to understand that it's the word that calls you to grow.
That's right.
Glory be to God. So if it's the word that calls you to grow, the topic of the day, you got to be about your Father's business.
Yes. Yes.
You have to be about your Father's. You have to be about your Father's business.
Amen.
You have to be about your Father's business. Glory be to God. In the word of God, hallelujah, Jesus. He said, glory be to God. He said, a wise man wins souls.
Yes.
Because He said, I won't have you ignorant to the devices of Satan. So if he got you ignorant to the devices, you cannot win soul. So a wise man wins soul. So he have to inform you of what he's getting ready to do. So for his people. Because glory be to God, if you ignorant to the devices of what Satan doing, you could never win souls.
No, you right.
If he don't give you what you need in this season. So a wise man wins soul. What happened in glory be to why a wise man wins soul? Because God has not had him ignorant to the devices of Satan. And that's what you're working on, to be a device that God be able to use you in this season.
Yeah.
Go with me, glory be to God, to Genesis, the 18th chapter. Genesis, the 18th chapter. Yeah. Glory be to God. This is when, glory be to God, this is when Abraham, the three angels, Sarah, and all that spoke to Christ. Because you have to be about your Father's business. Because you're going to see what your Father's business means. Glory be to the Lamb of God. Hallelujah. Yeah. We're going down to, we're going to start at now, glory be to God. We're going to start at verse number 1, and we're going to skip around, but we're going to get to where I need to be at. Glory be to God. Give me some time to teach this thing like God wants me to teach it. Let's go to verse number 1. Chapter 18 of Genesis. Read.
And the Lord appeared unto him in a plain of memory, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo,
three men stood where?
By him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door. And bowed himself towards the ground. And said, My Lord,
if I
found favor
in who?
In thy sight.
Hold on right there.
Amen.
He saw them coming.
Yes, he did.
And he ran to them. He said, if I find favor in you.
Yes.
See, the thing about it, we don't understand, glory be to God, is when, glory be to God, you pray about your Father's business. That's one of the connection that He had to use. If you find favor in me. If He don't find no favor in you, how can you do His business when He don't find favor in you?
That's right. That's right.
But He have to make you knowledgeable of what He's getting ready to do.
Right.
When you show God, glory be to God, that you appreciate Him, He getting ready to do it. Because He tell him, when he goes down into the verses 6, and we're going to just skip 6 and go through 8. Abraham began to tell him, say, if I find favor in you, won't you stay with me for a little while?
All right. Yes.
He began to appreciate the three that came.
That's right.
He appreciated them.
Yeah.
Then when God saw the appreciation,
yes,
in verse number 9, Let's go to verse number 9. Because you got to be about your father's business.
Amen.
When God see you appreciate him, what God getting ready to do? Sarah didn't have no baby.
All right.
But what he did for God, when he came up and saw, he said, let me get some water for your feet. Let me get something for you to eat. He said, you presented to me. Glory be to God. You appreciate me coming into your presence. See, we try to tell God, and God broke that down. He said, you don't come into my presence, Stephen. I come into your presence.
That's right.
Because you cannot come into my presence unless I come into your presence. So we ever say, I'm going into God's presence. No, he said, no, I got to come into your presence. That's why Moses had to take his shoes off. He said, take off thy shoes. Because what? The ground you stand on is holy. The ground you stand on is holy.
Yes.
So as he began to preach and he began to cook, he began to make some food for him. So God them getting ready to eat. He said, I see the appreciation because he getting ready to tell him. He said, verse number 9 said, what?
And they said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife?
Behold.
And the tent.
And he said,
I will certainly return.
He said, what? I will certainly. The word I want you to look at, certainly, because you did something for me, I'm going to do something for you. Because God blessings is certainly. It's not just God going to bless you. He said, certainly I'm going to do this for you.
Amen.
Certainly I'm going to do this for you.
Yes.
Certainly. That's why you got to be about your father's business, because he see your appreciation.
Yeah.
Now he's getting ready to bless him for something he don't have. Read.
Amen.
According to thy time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard and the tent door, which was behind him.
Now.
Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age.
So they had to tell you where they've been at in a place in their life. See, they've been in a place that they couldn't have no more but children. God don't look at time like you look at time. They were looking at a time, in verse number 8, they say a time of what? Of life. That you can't have no more children in a time of life. Because God said, I hold time, you hold opportunity. I'm going to present the opportunity to you. You have time, glory be to God, because you beyond the time you're supposed to be having what? Children.
All right. Yes.
All right now.
So now he wasn't speaking to their present. I mean, where they was at. He was speaking to their future.
Amen.
Because when Abraham have a child, his name will be Isaac. Isaac will be a child to have Jacob. And Jacob will have the lineages of the 12 tribes. He wasn't talking about right now and right then. He saw something way before.
Right.
He saw something way before.
Yes.
That's right.
So when God talks to you and give you something, he's not you looking at the right now. He said, I'm giving you this for what? Future.
That's right. That's right.
So he's speaking to them. He's speaking to them to their future.
Yes, yes.
And they're speaking to something they cannot do. God said you got to take your hands off of the things because you cannot what? Fix it. Because they tried, they had intercourse, they did all these things and still yet she could not get a baby.
All right.
Amen.
So she said in her mind, go ahead, glory be to God, and sleep with my handmaid, Hagar, and get a baby. Hagar was never going to be the promise because Hagar got out of wedlock. He wasn't married to Hagar. Abraham, so the baby was, Ishmael was born out of wedlock. But the thing that was going to be is Isaac. The promised child. The Bible tells us, glory be to God, your ways are not mine. Your thoughts are not mine. He said, your ways are not mine, and your thought is not mine. So how are you going to find out my thoughts and my ways? He said, through my spirit. That's why you got to be about your father's business, because there's people who don't know him like you do. There's some people don't know him like you do. So through the spirit that God is talking to Abraham, that's how he's able to know what he's getting ready to do. So he said, my thoughts are not yours. Your ways. So how are we going to do it without the Holy Spirit? How are we going to know what to do without the Holy Spirit? We cannot learn without the Holy Spirit. So now comes a time when he tells about time and life. He said, glory be to God, at this time, you're going to have a baby. The same thing, the same way Sarah had in her mind, is the same way Nicodemus had. He was talking spiritually. She's talking now natural. Because naturally I can't be born again. I can't have another child because I'm barren in my sin. So he said to Nicodemus, how much should I be born again? Should I go back up into my mother and be born? He said, no. How can I explain heavenly things when you don't understand the natural?
That's right.
So this was not a natural thing he was talking about. He was talking about a spiritual thing. He said, my word cannot come back to me void. It goes with a sent to that. So what happened in that, glory be to God, you got to trust the word that God is telling you. You got to be about your Father's business.
Yes.
Read.
Therefore Sarah laughed with them.
That's Isaac's name. His name is Laughter. Because she laughed. Now look at this when you read it. She was in the other room. He was in this room. He gonna ask Abraham, why did she laugh? Why did she laugh? And she gonna come out and say, I did not laugh. God knows everything. When you are not in or out of his presence, he knows everything. So he's letting her know, I know who you are. I heard you laugh. Read.
Glory be to God. After a wax old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also?
See the thing about it? The mindset. I'm old, I can't do this. You got people in the church, glory be to God, that say, I done did all this all my life. I did this. And God didn't look at the age of what you're doing.
No.
He look at the work that you do. You can be 50, 60, or 70. You still got work till he come. You can't say, I ain't going to do this no more. You can't cast the work away. Because why? You stole in your prime. He said one day it was me like 1,000 women. So you stole in your prime. Long as you got breath in your body, you got to be the one who do it. Because your reward is coming from not Bishop, not Jerusalem, but Father himself. You got to step in this thing and understand. Just because, glory be to God, you at a certain age in our life, you still can do the same thing. You've been doing that 20, but you might do it a little slow. But you still can do it. You still can do it. You still can do it.
Yes.
Grown people talk blue pill. I help a man all day long. He might be 67, but blue pill will help. Blue pill will help him. There's something wrong with the pump. That's all. But he needs something to help him out. He still got the same. If he 80 years old, he still got the same sexual desires. She might be 70. She still got the same sex. He don't take your desire.
No, he doesn't.
He don't take your desire. Read.
Glory be to God. And the Lord said unto Abraham,
Wherefore,
did Sarah laugh,
saying,
shall I of a surety bear a child which am old?
is,
Anything too hard for the Lord?
hold on now.
Go ahead.
He had to back him up.
That's right.
Because he had to talk to the one he came to see. See, Sarah was in the other room. And this time, always when men talk in one room, women don't never be in the room. So he said, glory be to God. He started to tell Sarah, wait a minute. He said, let me tell you, there's anything too hard for him. Anything too hard for your God?
No.
And God said, wait a minute, I'm going to prove to you. He said, at the time, what?
Okay. It said, at the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
He said, this time next year, according to life, Sarah going to have a child.
Amen.
Nothing can rise against that word because why? I already speak that word to that circumstance. So what happened is, glory be to God, we got to look at something, glory be to God, in the word of God. We got to look at what God is saying. It's not what the doctor said, it's not what the man said, but what it says is what God said.
That's right.
He said, at this time next year, Sarah, you're going to have a child. And your child, glory be to God, he's going to give him a name, but he's going to give it now. Read the last verse.
Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid.
And see,
Yea, but thou didst laugh.
thou didst laugh. Glory be to God. She was in a place, glory be to God, that she couldn't have a child. She wasn't ready to bear another child. She had to carry, she never know what labor pain felt.
She didn't.
Glory be to God. But she didn't really experience something to be a mother. all the time you look at it like, and you might not be the one to get it all the time. But if it's for you, it's going to be for you. And God's going to do exactly what you want to do. You might not get it this month or next month, but it's going to be a month that you're going to be able to produce what God wants you to produce. You can never underestimate who He is or what He can do. So now comes a time when you got to be about your Father's business. What He did. Abraham cooked for him. He appreciated Abraham. I'm going to bless you. But here comes the time now you got to go to work. I'm going to give you a child. But you got to be about my Father's business. I'm going to give you something you need. But you got to be about my Father's business. Let's go down to 16. Read.
Amen. And the man rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on their way.
Hold on now. In order for, it's a small thing you might don't pay no attention to. For him to walk with those three, something about Abraham had to be right.
That's right.
Something about them. Abraham was going with them where they were going. To walk with God, you got to come in. He said, how can two walk? Except they're in agreement. So Abraham and Jesus and the three, because they said they were his father and son, there was angels. How can he walk with them if they're not in agreement with them? So to walk with God, you got to be in what? Agreement with God to walk with Him. So when they start to walk, they allow Him to come along. Because He had some kind of what? Relationship with them so He can be able to speak on somebody's behalf. Your relationship was able to speak on what? Somebody else's behalf. Read.
And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham
Should I hide from Abraham?
that things which I do?
Glory be to God. Now He's coming to tell you how the relationship is. The relationship is, should I hide something from Him? Because I'm getting ready to tell you who He truly is. He's getting ready to be the intercedent for those that, glory be to God, He don't even know in Sodom and Gomorrah, but He knows one soul in Sodom and Gomorrah, which was Lot. Lot was there with his wife and his children. Glory to the Lamb of God. You got to have mercy on those, even though they're doing wrong. You still got to have what? Mercy. You got to be about your Father's business. You will see, glory be to God, when we get there. Hallelujah. Let's keep on marching. And He said, what?
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation.
Greatness always rise.
Yes, it do.
Greatness rise. Because He's telling you here, it's not what man tell you who you're going to be. It's what God's getting ready to tell you who you are. He's telling the angels. Now, He's not talking to Abraham. He's talking to the angels. He says, seeing that Abraham shall surely be a what? A great and mighty nation. Glory be to God. And all the nations under, glory be to God, of the earth shall be what? So when God is raising you up to be something, glory to the Lamb of God. When God, He's raising you, greatness will rise to be what God wants to be. And in your work with Christ, many people in your nation, your family, your spouse, your children will be what? Blessed because of what? What you do. I have never seen the righteous what? Forsaken. And then what? He's walking the same thing out as you do. So glory be to God. You got to understand that in you, your children, your grandchildren, your spouses will be what? Blessed because why? Greatness rise.
Amen. Yes.
Greatness rise.
Yes.
He didn't look at Abraham as a natural man. He looked at him as somebody who's getting ready to do greatness for us.
Amen.
It's no matter what I look at you, it's what God looks at you. It's what God calls you. And what God said about you. Because if He said it, He got the honor what He talking about.
Amen. He does.
Listen to the words. He said, you shall be what? Blessed in them. That who gonna be blessed in them? If you walk upright, everybody that's connected to you shall be blessed because of you. Because of you.
That's right.
Everybody should be blessed. What? Because of you.
All right.
And greatness is about to rise.
Yes.
Why? Because God spoke a word over Abraham.
Amen.
And when God spoke a word over you, greatness got to rise. Because people got to be blessed in you. So you got to be about your Father's business, because you got to go ahead and birth some things out of you. What he's getting ready to birth, he's getting ready to birth a 12 tribe. He's getting ready to birth a whole nation. It's not going to only come from his loins. It comes from his son's loins. And his son had 12 sons. Glory be to God, that brought forth whatever. So what you walking up right before God going to bring the blessing to your family, your town. You got to stand on the word and walk, glory be to God, close with God, so God can give you understanding. If you, glory be to God, hallelujah. If you go out here, glory be to God, and don't walk close with God, how you say? He said, I will not have you ignorant to the devices. So a wise man got the one soul. So you got to be about your Father's business, to do what your Father's telling you to do in this season.
All right now. Yeah.
They only blessed because of what? Abraham. They only blessed because of you. That sits in the house of God. That sits in the place where they got that labor. Because they out doing what they want to do, Father God, all night long. While you laying on your face telling God, look on the grace and mercy. Hallelujah. He said, only thy words and thy words are true. Now if you stand on the word, let the word do what it's supposed to do.
Amen. Yes.
Glory to the Lamb of God.
Thank you, Father.
Lord. Thank you.
Glory be to
You
God.
understand that, young man? Huh? You understand that, Jamie? You're only being blessed because of what? The connection. You raised up in the house of God and you saw the blessings of the Lord. You saw how God opened doors and touched hearts. You saw what you had to go through as a child to come to this point right now. And you understand I cannot make a mistake because somebody's dependent on me. Somebody's dependent on me. I got cousins, when you open up your restaurant, you got family members, you got people in this church who will be able to work for you.
All right.
Amen. Yes.
All right. My God. Yes, yes. Right.
Somebody can't take care of you and you don't repay them back.
All right.
Somebody had to pray for you. Glory be to God.
Amen.
You didn't get it overnight.
Oh, no.
You had to get there. You keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
God gonna bless you. Not because you're a humble young man. He's a humble young man.
Yes.
Glory be to God. He's a humble man to taste the grease.
That's right.
Glory be to God. Hallelujah.
Yes.
I'll be humble. When Sister Karen, my mom, I'll be humble too. I'll be humble too. She's my mom. So enough. I'm getting brick breaking all day long. Yes, read.
For I know him.
Hold on now. Hold on. What he say?
For I know him.
He wasn't talking to Abraham. He was, glory be to God. That's how Jesus made intercession for who? For you. He said, right now I'm making intercession to my Father for you. That's how God intercedes. He said, I know that's how. Oh, Jesus. I know that's my child. And my child needs you right now. My child going through right now. I come to intervene for my child. My child is crying out. He don't know you like I know you. But I'm going to talk to you because you don't talk to me. You say anything I ask you, you would not cast me away.
That's the word.
Hallelujah. Glory
Yes.
to God. Thank you.
Jesus said, I know what he knows about him. What he knows about him. What he knows about him. He know he's going to intercede when I tell him the truth. He know he's going to pray for me. Because why? Because I know he's getting ready to do that.
Amen.
You the intercede. He said, for I know him. He said, I'm talking about a what? A relationship. I'm talking about a what? A relationship. I'm not talking about a person. I'm talking about a relationship. I know he's going to do this.
Yes, he will. Yes.
And then Abraham was the one he talked to Abraham. He said, I know Abraham. And he go and he tell Satan in his face. He said, how about my servant? Who? Job. Job is an upright man. I know what he's going to do. When God knows you, he can test you and know you're going to walk through this thing. He know you're going to be able to walk through. He know you're going to be able to go through. He said, I know him. And he will what?
Glory be to God. That he will command his
children
and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him.
Amen.
Glory be to God.
Thank you.
He said he would know judge. He didn't say Abraham by himself.
No.
He said Abraham, his house, his children, his household. That means all the slaves and everybody who in the house with him.
That's right.
He's going to cause all men
To be blessed.
to be blessed.
Amen.
Because he said, I know who he is.
That's right.
So when God knows who you are, you got to be what? About your Father's business.
That's right.
Because he can trust you to do the things that you need to do. To do the things that, glory be to, excuse me, to do the things that you need to do.
All right.
He knows who you are.
Yes, he does.
Glory be to God. Of course, I can trust him.
Thank you.
I'm going to give him small. But after a while, I'm going to grow it. Because why? I know I can trust him. God ain't going to give you something, glory be to God, when he can't trust you. Glory to the Lamb of God. So he telling his disciples, he telling those that walk with him, I know Abraham. And 20 said what?
And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous.
Glory be to God. God got to visit you when you sin.
Oh, yes,
Right.
he do.
Yes, he do.
Yes, he do.
God find out. God, your sin will what?
Find you out.
Their sin was getting ready to find them out. And God had to make an intervene. See, you can't do nothing to try to hide it. Because he sees all.
Yes, he does.
So when he comes and somebody come and prophesy, tell you something, say, start what you're doing. You say, I ain't doing that. You say, I don't know. You get mad at the messenger. You need to get mad at the one who sent the messenger. You get mad with the messenger. When you get mad with the messenger, I didn't bring the mail. All I did is, I'm the mailman. I bring the mail. You got to call Duke Power and electrical people and tell them why you sent me this high bill. You ain't mad with the man. You ain't mad with the person. You mad at the people who bring the mail. So he said to them, he said, glory be to God, there's a great thing to come up against Sodom and Gomorrah. See, God concerned about them. He said, I have no pleasure in the death of a what? Of a sinner. I have no pleasure in that. He didn't want them to die.
No,
He didn't want them to die. He wanted them, he said, read 25.
Amen. That be far from thee, to after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous shall be as the wicked.
No, I'm sorry. Go back up to 21. I'm sorry.
Okay. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. See, this is the thing about God. He said, I'm going down there and see myself.
All right. For yourself.
He couldn't tell Moses at the burning bush, I coming down to deliver him, but he come down himself to see what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. He come to you. As the same when he went to come down and deliver Israel out of Egypt, he comes down to deliver Sodom out of Sodom.
Amen.
He coming down to see about his children.
That's right.
You don't have to write about the situation. He coming to see about your situation. Even good or bad, sinful or not, he said, I'm coming to see about you. There are nights that you lay in your bed crying and you sing them tears. There's somebody there holding the glory be to God. You might don't see the angel of the Lord, but he is there with you in your midnight hour while you're crying out to God.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's saying, I got to go back and tell him that he's all right now. Then after a while, it'll be 3 or 4 in the morning, you be laying at the 12, and all of a sudden, 3 or 4 in the morning, you fall asleep. He said, now he done get everything out of him. He can't go to bed because, glory be to God, when you're at war, when your spirit is warring against your flesh, nobody going to sleep that night.
That's right. That's the truth.
Ain't nobody going to sleep that night. I'm trying to tell you now.
That's right.
When your flesh is warring against that spirit, ain't nobody going to sleep that night. You're going to be up that night until that flesh has to die and submit itself to that spirit. You're going to walk that floor. I don't care how long it takes. You're going to walk that floor. Peace come in the morning, he says. Now here, you got to be about your Father's word. Now read.
And the man turned their face from him and went toward Sodom. But Abraham stayed yet before the Lord.
He was still pleading. See the thing about it. When you look at the story from the beginning, Abraham didn't go in his presence. They came in Abraham's presence. See, we tell people, I go in God's presence. No, he comes in your presence. You don't tell him where he getting ready.
No.
Because you might be in prayer all night long. You might be in prayer to 12, and it's 3 o'clock. He don't come at 3:15.
That's right.
He got to come in your presence.
Yes.
Because he knows when you're whining and crying. He knows when you're belly aching. He knows the belly aching. He said, I ain't feel yet. They ain't crying enough for me. They ain't getting to where I need them to be. And all of a sudden, that cry turned into moaning and groaning. He said, now I can come in and talk to him. Because all that belly aching and all that whining and crying, all that was going on is what? This is what it is. This is what it is. So this is where you got to be about your Father's business. This is what you got to be about your Father's business. Hallelujah. Glory be to God. That's all right. That's all right. They're children. They're children. Read.
There be 50 righteous.
Go back up. Go back up to 20. Go back up to 23 for me.
Oh,
Hallelujah.
Abraham draw nigh
Uh-huh.
and say, will thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked?
Wait a minute now. This is why you got to be about your Father's business.
Amen.
Read it again so everybody can hear it.
And Abraham draw nigh and say, will thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked?
So what it is, being about your Father's business is, they were more wicked than righteous.
Amen.
This was an unbalanced thing. There was more righteous and wicked people than righteous people. He couldn't find 50 righteous because that's where he started at. Glory be to God. Read 24.
Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Will thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
Okay, read.
That be far from thee to after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous shall be as the wicked. That be far from thee, shall not the judge of all the earth do right?
Read.
And the Lord said,
If I
find in Solomon 50 righteous within the city,
shall
then
not the
I
judge of
will spare all the place for their sake.
For their sake, if I find righteous,
That's right.
then I will spare what? For that place for what?
Their
For their
sake.
sake. For who? The righteous.
Amen.
For the righteous. I'm not going to destroy it because of what? The righteous. So he's telling us, glory, there's an unbalance in the earth. You have to be able to understand, glory be, your job is to make it balanced and make the righteous more than the what? The wicked.
Amen.
This is what you got to be about your Father's business. Because glory be to God, in this world, there are more wicked people than righteous. Glory be to God. This is why we got to be about our Father's business. Because the Bible says in the Old Testament, it said, hell enlarged every day. If Jesus been on the earth 2,000 years ago, and the Old Testament went 5,000, how big is hell? How big is hell?
You can't measure it.
You can't measure the hell because of what? Because of the situation that's going on. So he's telling us in our thing, he said, if I can find for what? The righteous sake, I would what? Spare. So now, tell me how your child being blessed when they're not in the church. For the righteous. How your spouse being blessed. For what?
Righteous.
He said, I will spare them for the what? Righteous. He said, seek ye the kingdom of heaven and his what? Righteousness. And he'll do what? He will add to you. It's the righteousness that you're seeking because you got to be about your Father's business because there's too much wickedness. There's in the house of God and in the body of Christ and in the world.
That's right. Amen.
Yes.
So that you come to tell you tonight, it's the righteous that's going to help the wicked.
Amen.
So what he's telling them, what Abraham is telling them, he said the strong must bear the infirmity of the what? The weak.
Amen.
Sodom and Gomorrah cannot do nothing for themselves. That's when people tell people, oh, Sister Watermelon's fighting for her life. Sister Watermelon ain't fighting for her life. Because she didn't even know she in the world.
Thank you.
You fighting for Sister Watermelon life. Because why? You the righteous.
That's right.
And God spared because of what? Of your prayer.
Amen. That's right.
I said, Lord, he said, yeah, stop telling people she fighting for you. She ain't fighting for her life. She can't fight.
No.
She unconscious.
That's right.
She can't even think.
That's the truth.
Too much machine breathing for her. How she can be conscious and fighting for something.
Amen.
Your prayer, glory to he is making interceding now. He's interceding for what? Sodom and Gomorrah. Because he knows that's a city God can destroy by just one word.
Amen. That's right.
You got to understand, glory be to God, that you got to pull your feelings back from glory be to God and then put your righteousness foot forward and bring your feelings back. You can't get your feelings in the way for praying for people, glory be to God, don't like you, don't look like you, don't talk about you. You still got to pray for them. That's your business. That's what you sign up for.
That's right.
It is the truth.
That's glory be to God.
Yes.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Thank you.
I did not take my glory be to God my oath or my thing from God of what Sister Karen do to me.
That's right.
I didn't take my charge for what she do to me.
No.
I take my charge for what I do to her.
Amen.
This is what you take your charge for.
Yes,
He's
right.
getting ready to charge him. Say he's letting him speak to him, and every time he would ask him a question, God would answer. This is what you need God to do. You got to have God to answer.
Amen.
You can pray, but there got to be an answer.
Yes.
So you're working on what? An answer.
Yes.
You're serving him for what? An answer.
Amen.
Because every time he asked him, he went from 45. He went down to 5. They couldn't find righteousness. Now let me tell you what it is. It's not based on man righteousness. Because man can be self-righteous. But all righteousness was based on what God said righteous.
That's right. Amen.
He said, but I can find them. Not by only you asking me, but I can find 50 in there. You tell me 50 people wasn't even righteous.
That's right.
Not by the bishop standard, but by God's standard.
That's right.
You're not righteous by my standard. You're righteous by God's standard.
Amen.
So when God said that, glory be to God, and he went to Abraham, and Abraham said, wait a minute. At 27, so Abraham said, answer. And Abraham answered and said, behold, now I have taken, go ahead, read, taken up
Taken upon me
to speak.
unto the Lord, which am but dust.
Hold on now. See, we try to go to God all bold, and we try to go to God all bold and strong. He just said, come to the the grace of, come to the throne with boldness. Come to the throne with boldness. He did say that. But what Abraham showed you is how you go to him.
Yes.
You go to him with the respect and the things that God is doing in your life.
That's right.
He didn't roll up on God any kind of way because he had power to kill him.
That's right. He knew.
That's right.
So he said, wait a minute now, I ain't nothing but dust talking to you.
That's right.
I ain't nothing but dust talking to you. But we go a little low, and then God was in agreement. So God allowed him to even go lower because God knew he couldn't find him.
Amen.
But I'm going to give you an opportunity to go ahead and try to speak for him. Because he said in verse number 40, he said, I know him. And I know he's going to do.
That's right.
He already knew he was going to pray.
Yes, he did.
So he started at 50. Why he started at 200? He started at 50.
That's right.
Because deep down inside, you know how to pray to God. You know you might going to be 200 people in there. But he said, I started at 50. 50 man, I can get 50 out of it.
Yeah.
And God said he couldn't find 50.
Couldn't find
Fine.
He couldn't find 50. So there's an unbalance.
That's right.
You got to be about your Father, glory be to God, to make more disciples than just make glory members.
Amen.
Disciples who are going to walk for God, who are going to do the thing for God, who are going to be able to do all things God wants them to do.
Yes.
So understand this morning.
Thank you.
Being about your Father's business is being in the righteous place with him so you can be able to get the blessing not only for who? You.
That's right.
You got to start praying for yourself so much.
Amen.
It's good to pray for yourself, but then somebody else needs prayer.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Somebody else needs to be laid hand on.
That's right.
Somebody else needs this prayer.
Amen.
He went down, dropped down to 31 and read it 31 and read it 33.
And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20 sake. And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry. And I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure, 10, glory be to God, shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way, and as soon as he had left communion with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto this place.
So now what it is what prayer is communicating. You're communicating our will to God. He said, now the conversation is over. He couldn't find what he needed.
That's right.
So God said, we ain't going to do this. Because all he had to do now is go, if he had gone down to 4, they could have saved him. Because it was God, his wife, and his two kids.
Amen.
He could have saved him. He said, well, how about 3? If we can find 3, he would have saved them.
All right.
But he went down to 10.
That's right.
10 people. And they could not find 10 righteous. This is why you got to be about your Father's business.
Yes, it is.
This is why you got to be about your Father's business.
Amen.
This is why you got to be about your Father's business.
Yes. Yes.
God can't find righteous people. He cannot find righteous people.
Amen.
He cannot find nobody that is righteous.
Amen.
He can't find nobody. He couldn't find 10 righteous people.
Not 10.
This is why you got to be about your Father's business.
Amen.
You got to be able to find some righteous people in the last days.
Amen.
You got to be about your Father's business.
Amen.
In the story, I'm going to take care of what you need me to do.
Keep
But
it.
you first got to appreciate.
That's right.
Because he made him a meal first. And he gave him water to wash their feet. That's appreciation. That's how love grows in appreciation. So once he saw the appreciation, he prophesied. It was a prophesy. I'm prophesying to Sarah, who cannot have a baby.
Amen.
But I'm going to give her what? A child. In this season, I'm going to give her what? A child.
Amen.
So what happened, glory be to God? He's beginning to show you. Glory. He told Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep.
Amen.
If you love me, feed my sheep.
Amen.
You cannot be about your Father's business when you're not loving God.
No, that's right.
Because how you going to feed him?
That's right.
How you going to feed him if you don't love him? So, in order for you to love him, you got to build what? A relationship.
Amen.
You don't start loving him, glory be to God, until he starts doing something. So the thing about it, glory be to God, the thing about it, hallelujah. The thing about it, you have to start appreciating.
Yes, you do now.
Not only for the big things that he do, but for the small things that he do.
Amen.
Once you start appreciating God,
Yes.
and he sees that, the minute Abraham did it for Abraham did to the angels, they sat in the air, and God, he said, now I'm going to give you a child.
That's right.
Because I know you appreciate it.
Amen.
I'm going to give you a heart desire. Love don't grow, glory be to God, the way we think. Love grow in appreciation.
Yes, sir.
When you start appreciating somebody, you see how far your love will go. The more you do, God do for you. He said, I did so much. You got to appreciate.
That's right.
I did so much for you over the 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, and the last 5 years, the last 4 months, and the last 6 months. Look what I have done for you, and you have not shown me no appreciation. You got to appreciate.
Yes, you do.
Because who else doing it for you?
Thank you. Nobody.
Nobody.
Satan come to destroy you.
That's right.
So every blessing that I brought to you, you got to bring something to me.
Amen.
You got to let me know you love me.
Yep.
That's right.
So if you love me, Stephen, do what? Feed my sheep.
Amen. Yes.
That's right.
Feed my sheep if you love me.
Amen.
It ain't got nothing to do with what I give you. It's what I, glory be to God, you do for me.
Amen.
And I will take care of everything you need.
Yes, he
That's
will.
right.
If anybody ever tell you I'm going to take care of everything you need when you just do this for me, no man can tell you that.
Nope.
Because no man can do all things.
That's right. That's true.
Go to the doc. Go to your primary. He gonna send you to your back specialist.
Sure.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can send you to the elbow specialist.
Yeah.
He sent a woman to OGBIRN, whatever.
Gynecologist.
OGBY, whatever.
OBGN.
Yeah. He got to send you there. Then he got to get a refill to send you out again.
Yep.
He don't send you to all one. He can't do all.
No. Sure.
He only can do what he specializes
That's
in.
right.
Be your main doctor.
Yep.
But he said, I got to make an appointment for you to go see
That's right.
the therapy for your knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sure do.
So God said, I'm the only one.
Do it all.
Even in a lawyer.
Yep.
You can't go to an accident lawyer about a corporate situation.
Sure. That's true.
That's not disrespect.
That's not their specialist.
Amen.
So everything that you go to God, he can do for you.
Yes, he can.
You got to take it to him.
Yes.
And when you take it to him, you got to trust it. Because what we do, sir, we do the opposite. We take it to God and we say, it's not done. Who go bake a cake and take him out before it's done?
Nobody.
If you put some meat in the store right now and you cooking some turkey right for Thanksgiving coming up, you don't pull them out when the turkey ain't done yet.
No, we sure don't.
You leave it in until you what?
Finish cooking.
So God said, why you keep putting the turkey, bring it to me, and then you looking at it and it's not doing what it said, then you get ready to say,
Yeah, I just
Because he ain't ready.
And then
He said, once you bring it to me,
Leave it. Don't take it back.
you ready until he's done.
before you brought it to me, I gave it to you.
Yes, he did.
So if I gave it to you, how you going to bring me something I already know about?
That's the truth.
You the one get impatient.
Yep.
You the one get impatient and you saying,
Amen.
you ain't done the right way. Let me turn around. Maybe I turn them this way. God will work it out. Maybe I do it this way. God will work it out. He said, no, you just bring it to me.
That's right.
Lay it on the altar
Yep.
and leave it there.
That's right.
Glory be to God. Because I saw it coming before you
Yes,
guys.
he does.
You didn't see it coming. I know it was going to come.
Amen.
See, that's why I could have bring it to you, because I knew you was going to pray.
That's right.
Glory be to God. We get in our natural feel when things go wrong, the first thing we do get scared. No, don't lie about that.
That's the truth.
We do get scared. That's
Yes, we
natural.
do. Fear comes in.
Fear do sets in.
Yes, it does.
But then God have to say in that confident spirit to say, wait a minute.
Yes,
Let me back up. Let me get this thing here
Yes,
kind of
he
straight.
do.
Because you get bad news, you get a little fear.
Yes,
You get a little
you do.
upset. You get a little uneasy. You get a little mad. You get a little, you go through the emotional thing. So when you settle down, then you're going to talk. Because I tell you how God attacks us. He said, if you have an ear to hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. He said, faith come by what? Hearing. Hearing the what? Satan, understand. When you get angry, frustrated, mad, you don't hear
You
nothing.
ain't hear nothing. Nope.
Nobody can talk to
Nobody
you.
can tell you nothing.
Yeah, you stop laughing.
Tell it now.
Nobody can talk to you.
Nope.
Because you're angry.
Yep.
You frustrated.
Yep.
And that's what Satan knows. He ain't going to hear nothing.
That's right.
That's why that man can go to his house, get a gun, and come back and shoot somebody.
That's right.
Because he can't hear reason.
You ain't hear nothing.
Satan don't care about what you're going through. Satan care. He don't want you to hear God.
That's right.
He blocks the heart so you want to hear God. He said faith come by hearing the word. Not seeing the word, hearing the word. So if he can block you and get angry and frustrated, you're going to get all upset and you want to hear what God said.
Amen. That's right. That's the truth.
Because you say, you know what? I don't hear nothing you got to say. I ain't going to talk to you. I ain't gonna, you can stay on the phone and
That's
talk.
what you say. I ain't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear nothing.
I don't hear that.
Nope.
Because I'm steaming right now.
Yes, sir.
And let me be mad.
Ooh.
And the minute you do, that's how people get killed.
Yes, they do.
That's how God
Yes,
destroy
they do,
them.
Bishop.
Because what they won't hear what people
That's
got to say.
right. That's
But I didn't tell you, I don't want to, I'm going to get it. And that's when you go get the gun and
That's
shoot
right.
them. And once he shoot them, that split second, his life's over.
That's right.
Satan gets you mad and pull you out of place. And don't let you talk to nobody.
That's right.
I ain't calling nobody today. So I just be stewing.
Yep.
And while you stewing, and he cooking that
That's
gum.
right. That's
He
what you
cooking that
doing.
gum. He just
Yep.
keep digging into you. And you say, did you? Get them niggas. He keep on dipping.
That's right. That's what he do best.
Then he said, then once he get to the mind, he automatically shift to the heart.
Yep. That's right.
And when it shift to the heart, the only person going to help you get it out is Christ.
That's right. That's the only one.
He said, because Satan knows, once it go to your mind, he already knows it goes to. He said, because the Bible said, it's not what goes into you, defile you. It's what comes out of you, defile you. So if you're defiling yourself, how can God acknowledge you to do my work?
Right.
So now you have you ignorant to the devices of Satan, because what? Things are coming up out of you, that's you because you're angry. And Satan knows that.
Yes, he do.
I got him now. And then the next thing you know, you saying that little word.
That's the truth.
That MF,
Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
I know D stand, right?
That's what he do for
That
you.
river.
That's what he do for you.
That no good. You saying all kind of things.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Satan got him.
Yeah. That's what he does.
Satan got him cussing. Got him cussing just like that.
Yeah.
When he cussing, let me tell you, that's a spirit that's laid dormant.
Amen.
That's a dormant spirit that lays in you.
Yeah.
God take cussing away from you when you get the Holy Ghost.
Yes, he do. Yes, he do.
If he takes drinking from you, you got to take cussing.
Yeah.
But when you start cussing, that's a dormant spirit.
Yeah.
That's a spirit that laid dormant. As soon as you cuss,
Come right back.
how can blessing and curse?
He can. Word says so.
Because when you curse somebody, you actually cursing them. When you say the words you MF, you SOB,
You cursing.
you cursing them.
Yes.
You're cursing them, and when it comes out of us, It's always been there.
Yes.
It's always been there.
Yeah.
So glory be to, how can you accept that as a child of God? We can't accept that because you got to pray for that spirit that's inside that person. Because when you get mad and you start cussing, that's when there's something about deliverance that you need. You're not delivered from something. Glory be to God. You got to go on and get delivered because a child of God should not curse that quick.
No, that's right.
Peter was a cursor, but Peter wasn't full yet.
That's right.
Peter got full after he came out. He got full after they came out the tomb because he blew on them.
Sure did.
And Peter never cussed
Again.
again.
No, he didn't.
So when Peter cursed the first time he cursed, he told him, you remember Jesus? Peter started cussing.
Yes, he did.
Peter didn't even deliver yet.
No, he sure wasn't.
They say he
He
was
sure wasn't.
He wasn't delivered yet. The spirit wasn't in him
Was
yet.
in the flesh.
Peter cussed up that night.
Sure did.
I didn't know that.
Yep, that's what the word said.
In the words of Peter cussed.
Yes, it did.
And now with that spirit low and damning in him. Because Peter had just cut a man's ears off no more than 6 hours ago.
That's right.
So then when Peter cut his ears off, Peter said, I'm going to cuss now. And then God had to restore him back. Because that's where it comes from. He said, if you love me, feed my people. He restored them back.
He sure did.
Then he blew it on him. And from that time he blew on Peter. Peter did not cuss.
No, he never did. That's true.
Because he delivered him from cussing.
That's right.
That spirit delivered you from cussing.
Yes, it does.
It shouldn't come out a saint's mouth that easy.
No.
It shouldn't come out your mouth that easy.
Amen.
The Bible says get mad, but don't sin.
Amen.
So if you get sin and you get mad and you cuss somebody, you sin. And you got to be punished for that. Even though when Stephen cuss at me, that ain't going to do nothing to me. But he going to do something to her.
That's right.
Because she's a child of God and she cussing me in the street.
Amen.
But you do want to cuss people sometimes. Don't lie.
Yeah, you do. That's the truth.
Don't lie.
You gotta
Well, I ain't going to lie to you.
gotta watch your mouth.
Sometimes you got to catch yourself.
Right on the tip.
God, I ain't going to think that thing.
Thank you now.
That right there.
Yes, sir.
But be careful.
Yeah.
You got to be about your father's business.
Amen.